whispers through the stars align within, clearing paths my soul begins to spin. Radiant light in every nerve and core. In this harmony, my spirit's restored.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Crab and Goat Show. It is, I was like, where am I? It is Monday, I was about to say February. It is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Welcome to everybody watching. This is the Crab and Goat Show. For everybody watching on Facebook and LinkedIn, if you do me a favor and share this on your page so that other folks can watch along with you. If you're watching on YouTube, why don't you scroll down, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know every time there's a new show coming from Little Mexican Productions, Inc. And for those of you watching on Instagram, welcome to the show. Although your comments can't appear on the show, we are keeping track of them, so make sure that we read for you too. So once we get started, make sure you put me in the comment section so we can read for you. And hello to my wonderful co-host.
Hello. Happy Monday.
How's it going? How you doing?
Here we are again. Good. Well, we are in Pisces season, as you're very well aware of, and it has definitely been an interesting one. We just had the new moon happen, which is all about releasing, setting new intentions for Pisces season, and then of course this upcoming year. So I definitely am feeling that Piscean, watery, emotional energy happening. But it feels good. It feels like a clearing out of sorts. I think too, just in general, I feel like the energy continues to feel like things are starting to ramp up to actually start moving forward. Because I feel like for the last, year and a half, we've been really in a releasing phase and acknowledging things and letting stuff go. And I feel like I'm coming to the tail end of it. So I'm definitely still feeling emotional, but I'm not feeling as emotional as I have been. So it definitely shows in my healing journey. I've gotten further along, and I'm definitely feeling more in sync and more excited about what is to come in the near future. So yeah, so that's me. How about you? How have you been?
As you say that, I'm like, you got me feeling emotions. Because the only thing I can say is, girl, and I think I've mentioned it to those of you watching. Mondays is my therapy day. So at 2 o'clock on Mondays, I have therapy, and then at 5 o'clock. So I have like 3 hours to process feelings and emotions before the start of the show. Yeah, it's not pretty. And I have, a shout out to my therapist, Jessica. She is pretty awesome at pulling those, we're working through some stuff. We're talking about barriers and blockages. We've been working through some things. So every session is like, I can either confirm or deny that I'm crying, but there's a couple of tears that roll. It's very dramatic. And so I always tell them, like, how dare you? But that's why we go to therapy, right? So
yes.
we go to that, then we come here and I listen to Wayne, and then we do the alignment. And then we get to do the readings. And I don't know about y'all, for those of you that watch all the way through, everything, no matter if it's for me or not, everything has a little bit of it. So by the end of tonight, I'm just like, it's taco time. Like, I'm ready for some tacos.
Hell yeah.
But you mentioned a little bit, you kind of said it in passing about electronics. And
yeah,
because I had issues logging in. And then when you logged in, it kind of logged you in and kicked you out and back in. So I think we were both in that. Like, our systems were like, no, not doing it.
Oh, you want to work? No, you don't. Are you sure? You gotta double check, double click. Then we'll let you in. Then you can start.
So for those of you watching, if you're having electrical issues as well, why do you think, or in your experience, Wayne, why do you think electronics respond so much to our energy?
So I would say I could talk about this for a very long time. One of the main reasons is, and this is a presupposition in Rehu Tech, everything is energy, and energy follows thought. So therefore, if you think about something happening in a space, the space and will actually start to reflect that will reflect that energy. And so the more in tune we are with ourselves, the more grounded, the more activated we are in our energy system, the more impactful we are in our reality and affecting the energy of everything around us, whether it's, dense computer, whether it is fabric, everything has that vibration. And so there's certain times where you can be affecting it. I know a lot of people know too, we have Mercury retrograde coming up. And that is really one of the most significant times that I notice when Mercury is retrograde, because Mercury represents communication. And so it also supports communication of technology and devices. So that's why typically during Mercury retrograde, you'll find those things are offline, because that's what a retrograde is. It's taking that energy offline to upgrade it, to clear out what needs to be cleared out. So that way, once it goes direct again, it's able to move direct fully and clearly. So there's obviously like different factors, whether it's the vibration of the planets that affect it or even our own. And I would say especially too, like those moments where we're frustrated, right? That's when it feels like technology reflects us the most, if we're frustrated and it's not getting through. And think about how much energy, think about how much emotion we feel in that moment. And that's really what that shifting of energy is. It's not just the thought of me if I wanted to, telekinesis something. It's very much so you have to activate your energy and feel that energy activated for it to shift. And when we're upset and frustrated that our technology is not working, I feel like that's such a great way to recognize when we're creating, because we're just angry when we're doing it, and we're creating a disruption as opposed to, manifesting something that we want. So
Yeah. And I'm coming to y'all from Culver City and Christian's house today. He's a witness that when I am stressed and frustrated and my energy is just all over the place, electronics will not respond. I can't log into things, or they're like uber slow. And if Christian's there, I'm like, here's my laptop, do what I need to do. And somehow his energy always calms things down. It's like my laptop is our child, and my laptop's like, no, I don't want to do it. So I'm going to call your father if you don't calm down.
You better. Oh my God.
The chancla comes out. You better do that. Again, welcome to all our friends watching. Thank you for joining us. It is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. And we're going to get started today with Wayne's section. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Well, mostly. So we'll see what kind of comes forward. So I have a couple of ways that I want to give some information. One thing I wanted to share too is, I know it's probably going to reflect backwards, but the Llewellyn Daily Planetary Guide, I get this every year, and it is spectacular. It has like weekly breakdowns of what to expect over the next week. And then it goes into like specific dates. So I like to do this, put this and write out like, what did I do on specific dates, key moments, things that have happened. So that way I can go back and kind of validate the astrology of the moment, whether it's coming to the end of the year or whatever that may be. So I wanted to share what it had to say about March. So retrogrades are hitting beginning 2025. In March, we'll be dealing with both Venus and Mercury retrograde, but rest assured that mid-April, the year will finally move forward unbridled. March is a doozy of a month astrologically, coming in like a lion and going out like a saber-toothed tiger. We'll be dealing with 2 retrogrades, 2 eclipses, the astrological new year, and the entry of slow-moving Neptune into Aries. So one of those slow-moving planets, Neptune, is moving into Aries, which represents new energy coming in as well, too. So that is a lot to have happen in March. And I feel like February flew by so quickly that in looking to March, know that with all of these retrograde, with everything I just spoke to that's coming forward, this is really like the final clearing out before we can start moving forward strongly with intention. And really all of those seeds that we've been planting, all of those things that we've been clearing out since the past 6 months, if not to a year, is coming to a culmination at this time. So this will also be reflected in the world stage. I know the world stage continues to be a little bit crazy. And I think that there'll be a lot that is revealed at this time as we have these retrogrades, as we have all, everything I just spoke to again. So just know that if anything is coming up, the universe, this is the most powerful time for clearing out. We're in Pisces season. This is our karmic cycle coming to a close. And I think I've said this in past episodes, but whenever I come to Pisces season 2, I like to look back over the past 11 months. What's happened? What were my biggest challenges? What were the things that maybe I had to face that I still haven't come to peace with yet or understood why it's happened? I like to write those things out. What has happened, and where do I feel at peace? Where do I feel like I've grown? So that way you can really acknowledge in those bits and pieces that maybe are left over from this past year that you don't quite understand why this is happening. You can set intentions as you move forward into Aries and as we have the astrological new year to either bring that over so that can be cleared out over this next year, or you can even set intentions for this to potentially be cleared out as you step into the new Aries season so that you can be, unfiltered, unbridled, I guess, in that way, so that you can move forward more fully and easily. So that is kind of March coming up. I'm going to probably speak to those things more as they happen. I will say, so Venus has already started retrograding. It started on March 1st, and then Mercury is going to start retrograding on March 14th, and that'll happen through April 7th. So as those times come, I will have a little bit more information. I'll speak about that. But beyond that, the only other thing I wanted to speak about was just kind of the energy of the upcoming week. So I went ahead and pulled the cards for this week that are representative of what we can expect. So for today, very interestingly, we have the 10 of Swords, which is the karmic card of karmic release. So today is definitely a day of, I would say, more emotional release, mental release, releasing the beliefs that are no longer serving us, and can be kind of an intense day, but it can be a very transitional day of once we step out of it and moving forward, we'll realize that we have kind of shifted and cleared and transmuted, quite a bit, especially with this new moon that we just had in Pisces. Tomorrow, we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. So tomorrow's likely to be a day, let's feel this out. If you're waiting for that message to come through, if you're waiting for what needs to happen as far as the value, I feel like the information is not likely to come too quickly. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a little bit of a challenge to our values of how we value ourselves, and a lot of the things that make me wonder, is what I'm doing now, is this worth moving forward into the future with? So I feel like tomorrow is going to be very contemplative energy about the future. And then interestingly, Wednesday, the follow-up card, then we have the 7 of Wands reversed. So this card also represents having to battle, but you're finally making some progress. Again, there's likely still going to be some challenges, or I would say Wednesday, likely what is to come up are the things that you have been battling, trying to make further progress on. And I feel like this will be the day that you come to the realization, this isn't worth it anymore. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. This isn't a future that I'm wanting to seed into the future. So in this way, this is kind of a blessing that this will come through in a way that will help to recognize what are you still trying to push forward that likely is no longer going to serve you for pushing forward. So definitely some intense realizations happening Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, you're finally going to leave it behind. We have the 8 of Cups, which is about leaving behind an emotional situation that's no longer serving you. So this is definitely another one of those cards where Wednesday, you'll likely realize what you need to let go of and leave behind. And Thursday's the day to do it. It's likely going to be a day where you feel ready to do so. You'll still maybe feel emotional in processing it. But what's interesting is as we come into Friday, we have the 5 of Cups. So there'll be emotional processing and grief that will be coming out because of that. So this is a big week for realization, actually, as I'm pulling this and feeling this out. And then I love this. As we come into the weekend, we have a lot of abundance flowing in. We have the Knight of Pentacles on Saturday. So this is likely new energy moving to the future, new ways of valuing ourselves, new ways of valuing what it is that we want to create and bringing that forward. And then Sunday is the King of Pentacles. So it's really embodying that masculine pentacle energy of value, of worth, of creating worth, of career growth, expansion, all of those things. So I would say this week, definitely, especially with the Pisces sun energy, Venus having retrograded, this is definitely a very contemplative, deep week. But as you go through it, if you can be super intentional about what's coming up and how you're processing it, how you're allowing it to come forward, that is going to be really the key to help you to emphasize this energy, to make the most of it, to help clear this out and really step into this more valuable future that you are valuing and the ways that you're placing the value on it. So with that said, I will leave you all with that.
Awesome. My brain is not going to allow me to function at this moment, but bringing value, that's that is something that me and my therapist were talking about today. Is for those of you that have been following us and follow my story, I found out last year that I'm adopted, and it has messed with my head and my personal value. And that's something we worked on today. We were just talking about today about not letting that define my value and not having it take away who I was before I found out. And what is it? Imposter syndrome. Some of you have heard about imposter syndrome when it comes to work, but there's also imposter syndrome personal. And when you get information like that, well, for me, it has messed with like, am I who I am, or like, was it all a lie? Jose, saludos, ¿cómo estás? Un fuerte abrazo. For those of you that speak Spanish, por los que hablan español, si ustedes quieren una lectura, if you want a reading, se lo podemos dar. Simplemente digan yo en los comentarios, say me in the comments, and we'll get a reading. We'll start that in just a minute. We're ready for the alignment. For those of you that have been following us and do the alignment with us, make sure you have a pen and paper with you. If you've been keeping a journal along the way, that's even better because you can put in, I suggest find a crab and goat journal, and so you can take notes of Wayne's readings and the alignments, and hopefully all of it together helps you just peel back the onion, break down those barriers, and we can help you become a better version of yourself. So, Wayne, you have your pen and paper ready?
I do. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So, everybody, pen and paper. Let's start with, what is your barrier for this week? What is something that you want to work on that you need to let go? And then we're going to pull the cards. I'll give you 1 second to write down what your barrier is. And usually, like I said, for me, usually is things of imposter syndrome. It's for me usually is self-confidence, trusting in myself. So with that, word number 1 for y'all this week is safety. Where is your safety? Do you feel safe in your environment? Do you feel safe with the people, places, and things around you? And remember, red, the foundation, that is the root chakra. All of this is in your root chakra. So something in your foundation has taught you or pushed you or helps for you to not feel safety. And this is probably why that barrier is set up for you. Word number 2. Word number 2 is joy. And this is your balance or your sacral. So is it when you feel less safe that your joy starts to waver a little bit, and therefore creating that barrier that you have for yourself? And sometimes when things are tough, when things are not going our way, when things are being difficult, we tend to not feel that we can feel joyful, if that makes sense. I always use this example in things like this. It's like when I was going through cancer, Christian and I made sure that we found the joy in the moments when we could, so it would balance out the stressful moments of going through cancer. Word number 3 is purposeful, and this is your power or your solar plex. We always talk about the belly. Do you have the Are you following and trusting your intuition and your gut feelings into feeling purposeful? Or are you overthinking the situation and anything that you're involved in at the moment because you're not using your gut? Yeah, because you're overthinking and not trusting in yourself and taking the power. If you do things because you think that other people expect you to do it, if you do things because you think it's what it's expected of you, or you should be doing, oh, do we hate that word? You should be doing this. And instead do it because it feels right, because it feels like that's what your purpose in life is. Then that's the balance in that. Word number 4, how interesting that we have joy and we have happy in your heart. Are you in these moments? And I'm gonna say this: there are moments in our lives, external things, people, places, and things around us, things that other people do that we feel that we shouldn't be happy. Right now, I shouldn't be happy because this is happening in this place in the world to this people and with these things. But make sure that you are accepting also information that is happy. So if you are connected to the news a lot, if you're watching a lot of news and all you're taking in is the harshness of the news, make sure you balance that with happy information so that your heart doesn't get overwhelmed. Word number five. Word number five is lies. This is your voice and your throat chakra. Are we lying to ourselves sometimes and saying everything's fine? We are so good at that one. That is one of the most popular lies that we say to ourselves. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. But if you're not, it's okay to say that. If you're not happy, if you're not feeling joyful, if you're mad, if you're angry at something, we need to let that energy out. Now, do we let our emotions and feelings take control of us? No, but we make sure that I acknowledge, because otherwise, especially the non-happy, the non-joyful emotions, if we don't acknowledge them and don't take control over them or try to control them, they will end up controlling you. And this is why we speak our truth to ourselves and other. Number 6, this is strategy. This is our vision and our brow. Do you have a strategy in place for when things get super, I don't know this probably is what, super unjoyful and super unhappy? Do you have a strategy to get yourself out of that? Do you have a strategy to find the safety in your life? And then number 7 is, how is your spirit doing? This is your crown or your connector. How is your spirit doing? Because we think about our minds, we think about our bodies, but do you think about your spirit and where is it at the moment? So let's do the alignment on these. Are you ready? So in order to feel safe, I have to focus on the things that bring me joy so I can feel purposeful and happy, which will stop me from telling myself lies so I can have a strategy to connect with spirit. Or spirit sends me the message to find the strategy to let go of the lies so I can find happiness and feel purposeful and find the joy in my safety. That kind of felt weird, but I hope that made sense. When I bring up Wayne, he can correct me if it didn't sound right. But those are your 7 words. Remember that. I'll bring Wayne up now. Those are the 7 words. Remember, we have them on our Instagram, on the alignment page. So if you're following me on Instagram, go to Instagram, look for the alignment, and I will post the 7 words there. And then you can find the videos on whatever channel you're watching. I'll go back and watch them. Just a heads up for people who are watching us on Facebook. Facebook has now sent out a message that live videos will only last for 30 days. I don't know if that includes these videos, but just in case, you can always find them on YouTube and both of our YouTube pages and on my LinkedIn page. You can find those there and go check them out again. So did that make sense to you, Wayne?
Yes, absolutely. And surprise, surprise, my barrier this week. So I said getting organized with purpose and future sight, because I have, now that I've been through a lot of healing, processing, now I'm starting to have energy and drive to do more. And so I'm looking at, like, what are all the things that I have on my plate? What do I offer currently? What do I want to add to this? What else do I want to create? And I get overwhelmed because there's so many things that I want to do and create. So this totally made sense for me, of the safety, joy. What really stood out was the lies and the strategy for me. And I love how you said it too, in the, like, the lies that I tell myself. And I feel like part of that for me is, when am I actually being productive versus when am I saying I'm being productive, but not, and I know those moments. And then the strategy too, I feel like it's both a strategy for me to be consistent in taking action towards what I want to create. But it's also the strategy of like putting myself together to know I only have 24 hours in a day, and I need to spend some of that sleeping. I need to spend some of that, so it's figuring all that out. But I love that and this of course is perfect for me, but for everyone else too, that the 7th card was spirit, because for me, this is really what it's all about, is it's connecting myself more to spirit, feeling more connected in that way. And then through my work, that's one of my, intentions, my vision, my mission is to help my clients ascend to higher levels of consciousness and happiness. So that really is what it is at the end of the day. So the alignment feels like it was personally just for me today. So
It was.
I'm sure other people will feel it too, but it really, I think this was mine today.
Well, as I was pulling them, I found interesting that in your channeling and pulling the cards, you were talking about value and finding that personal value. And then the power card, which is your solar plexus, the word was purposeful, which is all about if I feel valuable, I will find the purpose in my life.
Yes.
And if I don't, so I was like, we're in alignment today.
Look out.
See what I did there? So for everybody watching, we are getting to that point where if you are ready and you would like a card reading, all you got to do is type me in the comment section, whatever page you're watching on. We are keeping track of the Instagram pages. And for those of you on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, all you got to do is type me. It'll pop up and we will pull some cards for you. We'll wait a little bit for anybody to pop in.
I'm sure you did. I think I saw your post. It was the Oscars yesterday, right?
Yes.
I want to hear what you have to I haven't caught everything with it. I actually had a migraine over the weekend, so I was a little bit down for the count.
Just got chills.
Yeah. But well, tell me what did you think? I saw a couple of the performances on YouTube. What were your thoughts?
I enjoyed the beginning. I enjoyed the combo or the duo of Cynthia and Ariana. I think they make a really good combo. Of course, I'm a fan of the movie. I think they did a great job with it. I for those of you, and I want to make sure I'm very clear about this. It's not that I don't like a person. Sometimes the energy just kind of not. So I'm not real big on Cynthia's energy for some reason. It just doesn't connect with me. But I think the performances were excellent. Honora, the movie, I got to see that at a screening where Mickey, the lead, was speaking. She was being interviewed on that screening. So she was there live. And so I got to hear her speak. And I really dug her energy. And the movie, if you have not seen Honora, go see it.
I haven't. I need to.
Go see it. It is such a just the whole your energy is on like edge the whole time, but all the actors are excellent. So I think they totally deserved it. Christian and I were not on par with all of us because I watched it here at Christian's house. I don't think we were agreement in like all of the performances and all the winners, but I enjoyed the show. I think Conan O'Brien did a good job. He wasn't trying to be overly annoying funny. He was just doing himself, and I think he did a great job. Some of the we have to talk about styles. Some of the wardrobe, some of the styles that they wore, I was like, But one thing Christian and I agreed on is that the princess gowns were pretty like there was a lot of it, and I think good job. But I think the movie Wicked kind of called that for people to wear those gowns.
Big and outrageous.
Yeah. Ariana kind of led the parade of pretty gowns, and a lot of people followed that. Men's styles. Oh, there was one gentleman, and I can't remember his name right now. He had this really cool, like forest green suit with this cross tie thing. I thought the color was excellent, but I watched the whole thing. I even cried in a couple of parts of it. It was emotional, and And then Adam Brody, yeah.
Hmm.
I think he talked too much. He should have cut his speech a little shorter. It
Was
was
he the
just
one? I saw the clip about him saying like, "Turn the music off." I've done this before. Was he the one?
uh,
Yeah.
uh, well, no, Kieran Macaulay Culkin's brother, Kieran Culkin. Um, he did that. He was one of the first. He was the first winner of the night. And then, but no, Adam Brody won later on, and they had played the music, and then he kept talking. But okay, for those of you, I've been public speaker for a long, long time. Here's a little public speaking tip for all of you out there. Just a suggestion. You don't have to listen, but if you're giving a speech and you didn't write anything and you're kind of just winging it, and you say "and" once, bless you.
Excuse me.
And if you're talking, you're saying potatoes, tomatoes, watermelons, and oranges, bananas, and apples. If you're about to say "and" again, that should be the moment where you stop. That should be your cutoff. So if you say this and that, and then you kind of have a third idea, you've gone too far. So this is what's the problem with some people when they do speeches at awards like this is that they go for the second and then it gets a little long, and you're like, leave them wanting more. So just a little subtle hint whenever I'm presenting or speaking and I don't have anything written, and I say this and that, period.
Totally.
You sound more put together, even if you haven't finished your idea, because then people will ask you afterward, like,
Left them hanging, and they'll want more.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, so what about this?" And you're like, "Oh, this is more information for you." And so anyway, just a subtle hint. And we have our first are you ready? I hadn't put cards in yet.
I can be ready. Give me just a couple moments, and we will.
We don't have a first name for you. Phoenix. Okay, is that what? Yeah, Phoenix Rising.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just figured that out. Thank you. All right, Phoenix Rising, thank you. I think this is the first time you join us on the show. We're glad you're here. As soon as Wayne is ready, he's going to take you. For everybody else watching, all you have to do is put me in the comment section. We have another one coming up. And once you do, we will pull those cards for you.
All
Wayne's
right.
ready?
Let's do it. Okay, so just taking a peek here. So looks like there is, it's funny, value is definitely coming up for you as well too. I'm sure we'll have this theme today. But heart of the spread, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So right now, I would say your energy is very much focused on creating value for yourself, creating value in the work that you do, and doing this from a feminine perspective with the Queen. So it's very much, what do I need to do? How do I need to emanate? How do I need to feel? What do I want this to look like as I create it? So there's definitely a sense of there's something of value that you have within you that you're wanting to create. And then what's crossing you is the Six of Pentacles. So with this would be, you're looking for help. You're looking for assistance. You're looking for, you feel like if I could just get this one person to help me, or if I could just have this one opportunity for someone to give me the help that I need, I will be able to do this. But part of the challenge for you right now is for you to really have to stand alone in what you want to create, because it's important that what it is that you're wanting to create is something that is more valuable if you're the one that starts it, and it'll mean more as you do it for yourself. So I feel like this wanting someone else to come in and along, there's a reason that you're meant to kind of create this from a solo perspective. And part of this is because in something that you've created in the past, there has been some type of challenge, collateral damage that happened. And so it's likely this is a lesson that you've been needing to learn in that way, so that you can see that you have the value, everything that you need within you, because you've been able to create this before. You have the Four of Pentacles as your past influences, so you know how to create that foundation. But when you give away your power in certain ways, or you expect other people without holding them accountable to do what you expect them to do without it being super clear, it creates this sort of nightmarish situation. So just knowing and acknowledging how this energy is affecting you at this time, as you move forward, you'll be able to create more. It'll happen in a much more quick and succinct way for you as well too. So with that being said, internal influences, what you have control over, you have the High Priestess reversed. So there's a sense of spirituality, intuition playing into this, and it's almost like you're trying to intuit and force the situation, when really what the universe is trying to show you is it's trying to show you where the lack is. So it's almost like it's taking away everything that is not important and that doesn't need to be addressed and bringing that to you. So there's a sense of almost emptiness that comes with the energy that the universe is giving you. But that emptiness is helping to clear space, because there's so much expectations you have about the way that things are, the way that things are supposed to be, and really how you would expect this creation or what it is that you're wanting to create of value to come forward. There's expectations that you have around it. And what the tarot would guide you to is not have those expectations, feel out what you want, start working towards it from that manifesting perspective. But as you move forward, know that you have what is needed to be able to create what it is that you're looking to create. You have the garden to tend. You have the ability to create that. So as your outcome card, it's really important for you to take a look at how are you feeling in any given moment? How are you feeling about what you're wanting to create? How are you feeling about what it is that you want to do, the impact that you want to make as well too? And recognize that if there's anything in those feelings that feels unresolved, or feels like, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not XYZ, look to those emotions. Those emotions need to be addressed, and they need to be uncovered as to where this has come from, what situations have arisen that make you believe this certain stuff, and then start really diving down to change those beliefs. And I will leave you with that.
Awesome. And Phoenix Rising says, yes, thank you. You're so welcome. I'm going to take Laura, and then we have Israel after that. So I will take Laura, and then Israel, you will be with Wayne. So I'll rest for a minute. Laura, for you today, where are we? And Laura says she's having a bad day. So I hope the energy today, the message today, can bring a little bit of relaxation to your mind and your spirit. Speaking of spirit today. So starting off on your foundation, we start your foundation with, there are contracts coming. There are contracts, leases, paperwork, things that need to be signed, looked at, acknowledged. Make sure that what you're about to sign, or the contracts that you're about to make. And for everybody watching, contracts are at 3 levels. There are the mental contracts. There are the things that I promise to do this for you. I promise that we're going to do things. There is the there's the physical contracts where you sign things, and then there is the spiritual contracts where I make a vow. So, for instance, when you get married, you do all 3 of the contracts. But right now, for you, Laura, there is a contract issue coming up. So make sure that you sign everything, look everything over, whether it be mental, physical, or spiritual. This contract that you're making, make sure you stand by it. Because in your right now, it's the female energy with the coin, which represents you. It's upside down, which tells me that we need to be very cautious with spending money, with letting money go, with the way we're using money. And there are different things that you can do to call money into your space. The rice bowls, there's the green candles, there's the money in the doorway. There's all these different things, and we can connect out after the show and give you some ideas of how to bring money in. But there is a physical, there's a spiritual disconnect with how money comes through you, because in your tomorrow, here's the 6th chakra, which is your brow. This is what are you manifesting? What are you calling in? Where is your dreams? Where are your goals? What is your strategy to get there? That all comes from here. And Laura, knowing you have a strong manifesting energy. So are you manifesting positive or negative? And that has to do a lot with the way that money connects to you and these legal things that are coming up. Now, in your spirit, there is the 4th chakra. This is your heart, but it's upside down. So your spirit and your heart are not connecting. And talking about, you're talking about having a bad day. Something in your spirit is not connecting with it. Your heart and your spirit are kind of fighting with each other, and we need to reconnect them so that there is abundance in your life. In your heart, here is the community. There in your heart, there is a group of people trying to be there for you. Do not block people out right now. They need to be part of your circle. But for everybody out there also, be aware of who you bring into your circle. Sometimes we bring people into our circle because it's loyalty, because they're close to us, because they know us. But sometimes the closer the ripple, the less support it really is. So be very aware, particularly if they have anything to do with part of this contracts that you made. If you had a mental or spiritual contract with these people, reevaluate how that is working. There has to be a give and take of energy. Otherwise, what's that connection for? And then finally, here is the man energy. Now, interesting enough, in your reading, there is the female energy with money and the male energy with money. So this needs to work together. Both energies in your life, the male energy in your life and you, the female energy in your life, need to work. Now, knowing you the way that I know you, you have a very dominant energy. So how are you using that? Are you balancing your feminine and your masculine, or are they fighting with each other? And this is why the financial situations or the abundance is not going where it's going to. Now, the reason that I talked about your third eye on your brow and the way you manifest, because here's the magician in the mirror. You are the magician. You are the creator. If you want to destroy things, you can do this mentally, and that can break down any contracts you have. So pay attention to legal work, to connections, to loyalties, particularly with your community, because the male energy in your life, they're bringing in the money. Make sure that your heart is good in that connection, because together you can manifest the things that you want and create the dreams and the goals that you're looking for, because there is you. So the male energy is on one side and the female energy is on the other, and that's how things will come together. So make sure, but above all, I would say, make sure that you are paying attention to your dreams and goals. I'll bring Wayne up. Phoenix Rising said, "Thank you so much. Makes sense." And he's subscribing. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the show. So Israel is next, and then I will take Ida after that. Are you good? Ready?
Beautiful. Yes. All right. Israel. Let's see. So interesting. Lots of pentacles today, which I think goes with our theme of value that Daniel's been talking about, that I've been talking about, that has kind of come through. So it's really interesting to see this common theme. So starting out for you, heart of your spread, heart of your situation, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So there's likely something new that you're wanting to do, something you're wanting to create in your career, a new direction that you're wanting to head in. This represents new mastery to a degree too. So there's likely, to me, it feels like there's some sense of new education or education that you've just completed that is helping you to level up and it's inspiring you to want to move forward. And what's also interesting, your crossing card is the King of Pentacles making another appearance today with our previous person as well too. So with the King of Pentacles crossed, there's this sense, and I totally understand this energy, there's this sense of like, I know what I want. I know that I work hard. I know that I can create this. I know that I can make this happen. And so I just want to get there already. I just want to get there. Give me what I'm looking for. I can create the value. I can create the XYZ. But there's something very important about the journey along the way as well too. And there's not just that sense of knowing that you're going to be able to do it, that you're the type of person that can create that. And part of what is the driving force for you through this is you have the 10 of Cups reversed as your theme card. So this is affecting your past, present, and future. So with the 10 of Cups, there's definitely an importance to rectifying your emotional state, rectifying your regular emotional state as well too, because there is a sense of imbalance in wanting to be able to have your career and the work that you do be more of a reflection of your emotional happiness, but there's still certain past karmic energies, and this is also represented here in your past influences card, the 3 of Swords, that need to be worked through. So there's a sense of until this past energy, this past karma, this past trauma is addressed and healed and fully transmuted, there's still going to be everything experienced through this lens of somewhat emotional lack, where it's like, oh, it's good, but it's just not the way that I expected it, or it's good, but it's not the way that I asked for it. it's good, but there's a lot of buts there because of this past karmic energy that has been affecting you. And this also has likely been flaring up over the past 3 months or so, with the astrological energies the way that they have been. With Mars retrograding in Cancer, you were likely hit very hard by that and had issues come up during that time, again, December to now, that have really affected you and how you're moving forward and how you're addressing situations, how you're communicating about what it is that you want. There's not quite that full healing there yet, but I feel like this is that step towards speaking your truth. And the challenge for you at this time is, as you move forward, you may have to go it alone. You may have to let go of certain expectations with relationships with certain people, even if that's friends, family, even an intimate partner relationship. But it's really important that you are recognizing your own value at this time. It's really a key part of that. And to a degree, you recognize that you have a strong foundation for creating for yourself. You have a strong foundation for valuing yourself. But again, there's still some karma there. There's still some challenge that you likely are needing to work through that is holding you back from fully realizing it and being patient about this process between having this Knight of Pentacles energy now versus having the King of Pentacles energies that you're wanting, that you're feeling blocked by because it's not here yet. The other thing that I really love for you, your external influences card, what you have control, you don't have control over, you have the Magician. So this is all about having all the tools that are needed, everything that's needed to be able to move forward successfully in creating something from nothing. So your idea, I feel like, is inspired of whatever it is that you're wanting to move forward with. And, dive deeper into that inspiration is what the tarot is saying. You have the Star here as your guidance card. So it's saying that, this is, to me, it feels like this direction, this idea where you want to head, it feels divinely inspired and likely can assist you in healing this and healing whatever this past trauma is that has been coming up for you. So with that said, your outcome card, you have the Three of Cups. So this is about being celebrated and having a community to celebrate around you as well too. So this is also, I think, important for you to recognize who are you surrounding yourself with and who could you spend more time with that is likely to have a positive impact in the ways of your daily life, but especially in your career and the way that they approach themselves in their career. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind who that may be, but know that you have so much value to create. Just know that you are needing to kind of stand on your own at this time to understand your true value, to be able to move forward. And I think whatever you create moving forward is going to be something that is even more worthwhile because you did it all on your own. And I'll leave you with that.
Awesome. Cool. Israel, I hope you got the message that you wanted or that you needed. Next is Ida. And for everybody else who's just joined us and watching, if you want to have a reading pulled for you, all you got to do is type me in whatever channel you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube, and we will make sure to see it. Israel says thank you. He's on our Instagram page. So he's saying thank you.
My pleasure.
You are so welcome. We're glad you joined us today. So I'm going to read for Ida, and then whoever is next will look for you. Ida, we got some cards here for you. First off, starting on your foundation. Your foundation is all about the door to value. This is about you and where you stand right now. This is about identifying who you are mentally, physically, and spiritually, and being content, being happy. We talked in the alignment about joy and happiness. This is about finding the joy and the happiness of being you. And it's so hard for some of us sometimes to find that happiness and joy. So this is all about your energy. Now, in your today, in your now, the sun is there, but it's upside down. So it tells me that there are some things that are coming to light. There are some things that are being very clear for you. We just might be ignoring the truth. So make sure that as you find the value to the self, those things that are kind of kept hidden, those things that we're kind of avoiding, particularly in us, make sure that you acknowledge those and focus on those in a way so that we can remove them so they're no longer a barrier. And if you missed the beginning of the show where we talked about that, the alignment, go back and do the alignment for today. I think it would work for you to identify and find that the purpose, but what makes you purposeful in your now, in your power, because your outcome for this is about taking action. No longer we talked about strategy with the last readings. we got to step away from the planning thing. For a lot of us, planning is not a good stage to be in because we stay in the planning forever and it never goes beyond that. So now that you have found yourself, get rid of some of the barriers that are blocking you from taking action in the direction that you want to go. In your spirit, the temple faith, there is the temple path, excuse me. There's already a path laid out for you that your spirit laid out a long time ago. And I'm a disclaimer. I just saw Ida last week, and we did a reading, and I think this is what we were talking about. That there is a path for you to find your personal success, your personal value, not working for anybody else, but what you need for you. And let me clarify for everybody out there. When we say things like that, is I don't mean quit your job. It's just what is your passion project so that you can find that personal connection with yourself. Because sometimes we work for other people and we're creating somebody else's dreams. Now, what are your dreams? Because in your heart, the storm is upside down. That means that your value came up because you finally let go of some of those tornadoes that were trolling in your heart. They were just rolling and causing all kinds of destruction. And now that you're letting go of the tornadoes and they've stopped, whew, now that the tornadoes in the heart stopped, it's time to see what was the damage caused and what can grow from that. Speaking of Phoenix Rising, what can rise out of those ashes? And this is you. This is what you need to work on, the thinking woman. And because I know you, I know how accurate that card is. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. There is already a path laid out for you, so it's time to take action. And then finally, there is a male energy. There's a male energy holding your heart. So how does that play into where direction you want to go and who you are? So overall, is finding your personal value is what's stopping the tornadoes. Make sure you don't overthink and follow the path that's been laid out for you. Take action so that you can start seeing things clearly, and pay attention to that male energy that is coming into your life and kind of taking over your heart. I'm going to bring Wayne back in. And I hope that makes sense. She said, hi. Yes, we were talking about that. Yes, we just talked about that last Thursday. And yes, she laughs because she knows. So for everybody who is watching and you have not said yes, please make sure you say yes and we will get you on there. What else is going on? We still have 30 minutes on the show.
I wanted to tell you, I looked it up because I thought I had read about it, but Cynthia Erivo is a Capricorn like you.
How dare she?
Do you have a lot of Capricorn friends? How are you with them?
The audacity. I know a lot of Capricorn people.
So you answered my unanswered question?
Did that answer your question? How dare you, sir? I learned this in rehab. That usually people who are very similar to me, I have issues with. Because if your energy rubs me weird, that means there's something about you that I see in myself that I don't particularly like and I need to work on. So if you're a reflection of any of my dislikes, I guess, I will reject you, not because you're a bad person, or it's because you remind me that there's something I need to work on. And I think, and now that we're in therapy again at 6:00 in the afternoon, I think what it is that she is so unapologetic. Unapologetic her. Like, she doesn't care. She stands in her power. And sometimes because of the work that I do, because of the people that I'm around, I can't always do that. I have to follow certain codes and do things a certain way. And I think that's what irritates me. Is like, I wish there was a moment to put myself in that position and be like, I don't care. Take me or leave me. This is me. And Sometimes you have to adjust your personality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
All right. So we have Alicia on hold for me. Um, let me know when you're ready for her.
I love Alicia.
Alicia's been here before, right? I feel like
Yes.
her name sounds familiar.
She's also a fellow Reikutech practitioner. She's level 1.
Okay.
Just like you.
So
Okay.
Alicia, welcome back to the show. I'll leave you with.
Welcome back. So good to. Well, I know you're seeing me. If I could see you. Love, love. Okay. So I am liking this for you. There's some. It's good. It's good. So heart of your spread, you have the strength card. So I like this for you. This this feels really good for you in that, of course, when this comes out, strength is highlighted here, but it's especially important because I feel like, especially like over the last week or two, you're starting to really understand your strength in its entirety and like the strength of who you are without having to like flex, without having to actually like do it. You there's something that has come up where you've really understood your strength better and how to move forward, and it feels like things are clicking for you in that way. Your crossing card or your current challenge is the King of Cups. So this is interesting. So there is in this strength that I feel like you have come to realize even more so. Part of the challenge for you in this is being able to, what is this? I would say it's the being able to embody the feelings that come along with this and to feel, to me, it's a sense of that self-worth, that worthiness, that I'm capable, that I'm able to do this, that I'm able to move forward. And there's also just a sense of like being able to express freely how I'm feeling in any given moment and having it not have to be something that's reactionary, where I can just share it and say it and be transparent about what it is that I'm feeling. So that's definitely something that I feel like you're working towards and from. And with that, your theme card affecting your past, present, and future, you have the Six of Cups, which is the card of nostalgia. It's the card of looking back to the past as well, too. So it's likely there's in your past, in your upbringing, it was likely hard for you to fully express yourself. And in that, I mean, express how you were really feeling. I think overall there was authenticity that you were able to share, but there wasn't always that safe space to share exactly what you were thinking, or, you know, even those thoughts. Like, I feel like it's some of those thoughts coming in where it's like, not necessarily naughty thoughts, but like thoughts of like, I can't ask that question. That seems too real. That's too like, and so I feel like as an adult, you've kind of shied away from that, but you're really getting good about asking the big questions as of late and moving forward. So with that being said, past affecting your present, you have the Fool. So there's been a fresh start for you, a new beginning of sorts that has been happening, and it's been leading you to the present of the Wheel of Fortune. So there's more for you. There's more that you're recognizing. And again, I'm getting this sense of like, as the wheel spins, the first part, getting it started, oh, it takes pressure. Okay, I got to get it. And like, it's now you've gotten it to where it's pretty much now it's just going on its own and it's ready to move, shift. But it's taken you a while to feel like the Wheel of Fortune actually spins in your favor. But I feel like you're starting to see the trippings of these things coming to pass for you in a way that serves your highest good. Future influences, you have the Justice card. So I really like this for you too, because this shows that your situation is coming out balanced and it's coming out in a way that supports, I would say, the outcome that you're looking to receive. There's also something tied to this with, typically this represents legal matters, certain situations. And so I feel like there is more balance coming in your near future. And this feels regarding housing for you, home, housing, and that there's a more just, or the situation is coming into more just balance as well. And I feel like this is also something that's happening because of your recent shift in understanding your strength and kind of moving forward from that space. So with that said, internal influence is what you have control over. You have the Hierophant reversed. So there is this sense of spirituality is usually at focus when this comes up, but with this being reversed, I almost feel like it's like you've taken some time to like be super spiritual and practice and be mental about it and be emotional and feel it out. And then I feel like at this time in your practice and feeling out your strength, it's like you find like, okay, I'm going to take all that, but I'm not going to throw it out. And I'm just going to experience. That feels like that's what you are trying to, or that's what you're focused on for yourself, which I think is wonderful. I think it's important for us to have space in our spirituality to breathe and to not feel like we have to constantly validate it. I know for me and my upbringing, especially with the Mormonism and being told that this is the truth, this is the only truth, that my mindset still at certain times, as I'm a spiritual person, as I experience new metaphysical subjects as I dive deeper into other metaphysical practices like mediumship, like my trance channeling. There's always this feeling of like, I need to prove it. I need to know that it's the truth. I need to know, because that's what was in the framework of me growing up. And I feel like this is similar for you in that way, that you're deprogramming what that was to look like. And so as you're deprogramming this, the universe is pointing to all of those areas where there is a sense of collateral damage, where you're trying to feel out, okay, if I'm okay here, am I okay there? If I'm okay here, am I okay there? So there's definitely a sense of you're needing to still kind of feel out what's happened, where are things going. But as you move forward into the future, there's a much more grounded perspective that you have, and it's grounded in your emotion as well as grounded in reality as well too. So there's this sense of kind of blending of transmutation that is possible as well too. And then I do love this for you as an outcome card. Don't be scared. You have the death card, and it is reversed. So with the death card, this would tell me that that old way of being, that old way of living, that old way of not feeling strong, or that you have the strength to persevere, or that you have to always constantly question what's happening, what am I doing, where am I going? That's going out the window. That is shifting out, and it's something that you have brought on for yourself. So I would say this really feels like a strong, positive time for you. And as you move forward, I think that there's going to be even more opportunity for further manifestations of what you're wanting to bring forward, and so much more along with it. And I will leave you with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia, for joining us, fellow practitioner. I guess that's, before we get any more me's, this is a good segue to you want to present what you got coming up?
Events. Yeah, absolutely. So which one you got first? And I will gab away.
There you go.
Beautiful. So tomorrow evening, we have our Rehutech Healing Circle starting at 7:30. It's an hour-and-a-half event at the Visions and Dreams bookstore in Costa Mesa. It is a $20 investment. And when you come in, we'll give you a quick, brief introduction to Rehutech. We show a short video that kind of speaks about how this ancient Egyptian energy modality has been reawakened for the modern age. So that's kind of how it's come to be. You'll also receive an individual personalized energy healing transmission from a practitioner such as Daniel or myself or Iris. So this is focused on helping to clear your chakra system, ground, balance, clear any attachments that you may have, and really just reset your system to be optimal to move forward. And then at the end, we do a guided manifestation meditation. I channel my unseen friend Lalonde, and they guide everyone through a manifestation. So choosing one thing that they want to manifest, we utilize that Rehutech energy to basically group energize everyone's manifestations. And I know for Daniel, every time he's come and he has done it, he has manifested very quickly what it is. So the proof is in the pudding, shall we say, in that way. So if you're interested, if you're in the area, you want to join us, that's tomorrow. And then also at Visions and Dreams on Friday at 7 p.m., I have my Chakra Reset Sound Bath. So this is the one, the card says Scorpio. I didn't update it. It's actually going to be on Pisces, since we're in Pisces season. So I'll have that meditation. You'll receive an energy transmission there. And then I use a shaman drum, ocean drum, and crystal singing bowls for the sound bath portion. And at the end, we kind of do a group, having everyone speak about it. And then I kind of share any intuitive information that came through while doing the transmissions. So if you're interested in that, you can purchase tickets on my website. Again, that's for this Friday, March 7th. And that starts at 7 at Visions and Dreams bookstore in Costa Mesa. And then lastly, if you're interested in working with me, whether or not you've received a reading from me, I have a whole list of what I offer. I offer intuitive tarot readings, Rehutech energy healing sessions. I'm starting to offer NLP as well too. I do space clearing, so have the whole list there. But if you're interested in working with me, you can find out more about each of these services on my website. That's my initials, rwk2.com. And you can just shoot me a message on there as well too. I'd love to connect, and we can get a time on the calendar to look at whatever you want to look at, and have whatever experience you want to have.
Cool. And Alicia sent a thank you, and I forgot to read the other message from Israel. He did say thank you, but he also said true.
Nice.
So when you were reading it, I was like, yep, all true.
I love it.
For those of you and for me, if you are interested, here is if you want a full alignment session, those are one-on-one. We do groups. It's also a great team building workshop. It doesn't say on here, but it's also a burnout prevention workshop. You can find it at thealignment.net. If you want to do, I have a 1 session, a 3 session, and an 8 session package. and just email me for prices on those. But also part of my services are card readings. I do Reiki, spiritual coaching, live coaching, group workshops, and corporate events. And so if you want to direct message me, or you can find me also on Gig Salad. If you go on Gig Salad and request a psychic, you can get me through there. If you're looking for something, the reason a lot of people like Gig Salad is because it's through a service and there's contracts and things like that. So it works. And then if you are interested in my book, this is the Grumpy Bunny and the Colors Game, both in English and Spanish. For $20, it's signed and delivered. So no postage, no extra postage necessary. I will pay that. But if you're near Awakenings in Laguna Hills, or if you come to one of Wayne's sessions there at Awakenings or at Visions and Dreams, just go into the store and you can find Grumpy Bunny and the Colors Game in English and Spanish. The only difference is if you order it from me at my website, which is littlemexicanproductions.com, it comes signed with the sticker and a collector pen that you can take with you. Otherwise, but otherwise, yeah, just go by the bookstores and get them. But I'm going to recommend the sound baths. I just did one. Was it last Friday? No, not last Friday because I was out of town. The Friday before.
2 Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, 2 Fridays ago. And I fall asleep part of it because it is just so relaxing and it just lets you go. And totally recommend it. If you're in the area and you can do it, do it. And if you are, whether you are or not a Reiki master, I just happen to already be a Reiki master and doing Reiki Tech and taking it to that next level, which is something really great for me. And yes, here's Reiki Tech for those of you like, what are they saying? It definitely takes it's taking my manifestation powers to that next level. It's taking my calling in of people, places, and things to that next level. So I highly, highly recommend it. And hopefully I'll be taking 2. And then watch out, people, because you won't be able to stop me.
Unstoppable goat right there.
Just saying. And so
couldn't help myself. Sorry.
And seeing that we don't have any more people online asking for anything, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. If you are able and if you can, we do accept donations at Cart Debo on Venmo for anybody who can, and we share them between Wayne and I. Again, if you want to go back and watch the beginning with the card readings, the channeling, and the alignment, please go back. And if you do, will you please put a like on there or a comment just so that folks know you're watching, so we know you're watching. But I think we're gonna head out early today. I've had a long day, and I could use the extra 30 minutes to get dinner ready. I'm a little hungry.
Tacos.
You know, I'm ready. Are you good with that, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm good. That sounds good.
All right, for everybody watching, thank you so much for watching us. We will see you next week. Bye.